More than 5,000 years ago, while much of the world was still finding its way, civilization of unimaginable brilliance rose from the desert sands, right beside a life-giving river. A civilization so advanced, so mysterious, that even today its achievements make us wonder, how was it all possible? This was ancient Egypt, a land of gods and kings, towering stone monuments and tombs filled with gold. A land where life, death, and the afterlife were woven into a single, breathtaking story. This is the tale of the ancient Egyptians, not as distant myths, but as real people who built a world that would shape history forever. Egypt, in its very essence, existed because of one powerful force: the River Nile. Every single year, like clockwork, the Nile would flood its banks. And when the waters receded, they left behind a gift of rich, black soil. This fertile earth was a miracle, allowing abundant crops to grow in the middle of a harsh desert. The Egyptians even named their world after it. They called their home Kemet, the Black Land. Everything beyond it was Deshret, the Red Land, the domain of chaos and death. The Nile provided food, it provided water. The Nile was life itself. Without its annual gift, the grand civilization of Egypt would never have even begun. Around the year 3100 BCE, something extraordinary happened. The scattered settlements along the Nile were brought together, and Egypt became one unified kingdom. A legendary king, known to history as Narmer, or sometimes Menes, united the two lands of Upper and Lower Egypt. From that pivotal moment, Egypt embarked on a journey that would make it one of the longest-lasting, most stable civilizations in all of human history, enduring for over 3,000 years. Egyptian society was a masterpiece of organization, a pyramid of people. At the bottom were the farmers, the backbone of the nation. Above them were skilled artisans, soldiers, powerful priests, and the highly respected scribes. And at the very pinnacle of it all, reigning supreme, was the Pharaoh. But the Pharaoh was not just a king. In the eyes of the Egyptians, he was a living god on earth, the sacred bridge connecting the mortal world to the divine realm of the gods. The Pharaoh controlled all the land, led the most important religious rituals, and was responsible for maintaining Mat. Mat was one of the most important concepts in ancient Egypt. It meant order, truth, justice, and cosmic harmony. If the Pharaoh succeeded in his duties, the world would remain in balance. But if he failed, chaos would surely follow. This is why obedience to the Pharaoh wasn't just a political duty, it was a spiritual necessity. The spiritual world of the ancient Egyptians was rich and complex, filled with a vast pantheon of gods and goddesses. Each deity governed a different aspect of life in the universe. There was Ra, the all-powerful god of the sun, who sailed across the sky each day. Cyrus, the god of the afterlife, who judged the souls of the dead. This is the goddess of magic, protected her family and her people. Horus, the god of the sky and kingship, whose living embodiment was the Pharaoh himself. And Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification, who guided the dead on their journey. Religion wasn't just for temple ceremonies. It was woven into the fabric of everything. Birth, work, death, the gods were everywhere, watching over every moment of an Egyptian's life. So what was daily life actually like for these people? It all depended on where you stood in the social pyramid. The vast majority of people were farmers. They worked the land, plowing, planting, and harvesting according to the rhythm of the Nile's flow. They paid their taxes, not in money, but in the grain they grew. Further up the ladder were the artisans, talented craftspeople, who created beautiful jewelry, intricate statues, and essential tools. And there were the scribes, who held a position of great prestige. In a society where very few could read or write, scribes were the keepers of knowledge, meticulously recording history, laws, and stories using their sacred script, hieroglyphs. And what about women? Egyptian women enjoyed more rights and freedoms than their counterparts in many other ancient cultures. They could own property, run businesses, and even seek a divorce. Overall, Egyptian society was built on a foundation of stability, tradition, and a deep respect for order. To manage such a complex society, Egyptians developed one of the world's earliest and most beautiful writing systems, hieroglyphs. These weren't just letters, they were intricate pictures, each one a work of art. Writing was considered a sacred act, a gift from the gods. Scribes trained for years to master this complex system and were among the most respected members of society. Their knowledge didn't stop at writing. The Egyptians were also brilliant mathematicians, astronomers, engineers, and doctors. They could perform complex surgeries, expertly set broken bones, and had a surprisingly detailed understanding of human anatomy, much of it learned through the process of mummification. Their incredible intellectual achievements laid the groundwork for future scientific discoveries across the world. And of course, no discussion of Egypt is complete without mentioning their most iconic creations, the pyramids. These colossal structures were not just tombs. They were awe-inspiring monuments of divine power, stairways to the heavens. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for the pharaoh Khufu, remains the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing. It was constructed with over 2 million massive stone blocks, some weighing as much as a truck, all without the help of modern machinery. The sheer scale is almost impossible to comprehend. For the Egyptians, the pyramids were machines for eternity, ensuring the pharaoh's successful journey to the afterlife and his rebirth among the gods. This focus on eternity came from the core belief: death was not the end. The Egyptians believed that the soul was made of several parts, including the ka, or life force, and hiya, the personality. For the soul to continue its journey into the afterlife, the physical body had to be preserved. This belief led to the sophisticated and sacred art of mummification. After death, the ultimate test awaited. The deceased's heart was weighed on a scale against the feather of Nat, the feather of truth. If the heart was light, free from sin, the soul was granted eternal life in the paradise of the afterlife. But if it was heavy with wrongdoing, it was devoured by a terrifying monster, and the soul ceased to exist forever. For the Egyptians, death was simply a transition journey, not a final goodbye. After 3 millennia of unparalleled stability and power, the world around Egypt began to change. The mighty kingdom started to weaken, plagued by intense storm. This made it vulnerable to foreign invaders. First came the Assyrians, then the Persians. Later, Alexander the Great and his Greek successors, the Ptolemies, ruled the land. The final chapter came in the year 30 BCE, when Egypt fell to the rising power of Rome after the dramatic death of its last pharaoh, Cleopatra VII. The age of the pharaohs was over, but Egypt's influence never truly died. Its revolutionary ideas about religion, architecture, science, and the very concept of a state echoed through the ages, shaping the civilizations of Greece, Rome, and eventually the entire Western world. The ancient Egyptians held a profound belief: to be remembered was to live forever. And as we stand here today, thousands of years later, we are a testament to that belief. We still speak the names of their pharaohs, study their writings, and their incredible scientific achievements, travel across the world to stand in absolute awe of the legacy they left behind, carved in stone and written in gold. Ancient Egypt didn't disappear into the sands of time. It achieved its ultimate goal, became eternal. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, be sure to subscribe for more stories from history.